Okay, that doorbell means our next guest is ready.
No. Who is it?
It's Laura Siegemund.
Oh, I should have gotten that, especially with Stuttgart right around the corner.
Underway with the final quarterfinal. Let's bring in a former top 10er, over 300 wins, Olympic silver medalist, Mardy Fish, to the show. Pumped to have him on. Mardy, what's up, man? It's nice to meet you. I know you know everyone here. How's your Friday looking?
What's up, guys?
Hi, Mardy.
Friday is starting with a little bit of a headache. Nosy, how are you feeling this morning?
Whoa, did you guys get in there?
There are a couple drinks involved there.
So
little
what time
golf
did you get
with
to bed
Fishy
last
yesterday.
night?
No, we do stuff early, but a little golf with Fishy at Bel Air. Just watching him just pure
Slumming
balls
it.
down the fairway.
The
and make
19th
birdies.
hole after that as well?
Maybe 18 and a half hole.
18
Maybe
and a half.
Couple pops.
Fishy.
We had a good time.
Fishy, thanks for joining
And we
us,
got
buddy.
and we got Pete to stop and say hi. How about that?
Who's Pete?
Fishy.
Which Pete we talking about?
You got to
Fishy.
tell us that story.
Tell us.
Fishy,
Sampras.
I got an even better story. So we're on 18. We see the great Pistol Pete Sampras going by with his son to the range. Marty yells, "Hey, Nosy and Fishy." He actually stopped the cart and said hi to us. So Fishy and I were both like, sweet.
Which is rare.
At Bel Air, right?
Bel Air, but it gets better, Fishy. I didn't text you afterwards. So Marty left, you know, he's got the VIP parking, blah, blah, blah. I'm down in the lot, so I'm taking my clubs down to my car, and this, Tesla with tinted out windows is coming towards me, and the window goes down. And Pete goes, "Nosy, what's up?" Pete spoke to me for like 5 minutes. I was like, oh my goodness, the legendary Pete, 14 majors. So it was a great day.
So does he not usually speak?
Very
Is that
rare.
so shocking?
He's quiet. He's quiet, but
okay.
super guy, but quiet.
That's all right. I put you on the line.
Fishy,
Sorry.
Fishy, thanks for joining us, man. First, I gotta ask you: is that a spaceship behind you? What's on the board back there? That on your whiteboard?
This thing?
Chalk talk.
Is that chalk talk? What's going on back
That's
there?
the kid stuff. I don't know what they're. I don't know what's
That's Beckett's baseball.
And it
You got
doesn't-
the
and it-
position.
It's so old it doesn't even come off.
Okay, yeah, I just had to ask what that was. But Fishy, how much tennis do you get to watch these days? Are you watching a lot of it? Are you following kind of everything that's happening in the world of the tennis game?
Not as much as I used to. Although I did check just to make sure I was prepared for this interview. Did Dimitrov lose 0-0?
yeah.
In 44 minutes.
Yes.
44.
I looked at some of the stats. He won like 7 points or something.
Yeah,
on the
I think he's a little hobbled, but yeah.
I wasn't up in the middle. Okay, yeah, something had to be.
Have you ever
Had to be
lost
up
a
there,
match
right?
love and love? Is there a match that comes back to mind where somebody maybe just routined you? Or that you routine somebody else?
I lost to Jose de Armas in 1987 when I was 6 years old, my first match ever. He had a kick serve and an overhead at 6,
At
and he beat
6?
me 0-0.
He beat you at 87,
That's
you
okay
were
if it's
6
the last
years old.
time it happened, you
And
were
what
6
about-
years old.
Okay, and then did you routine somebody else? We got a story of you?
I think Nosy, you were coaching me in 2012. We beat Ebden pretty bad, like that almost.
Yeah,
Right?
in doubles.
In Toronto.
He beat.
You beat
Ebden,
Ebden in Toronto. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
you're
well,
right.
I said
We'll
we
have to
because
look-
he was my.
Yeah.
We were a team.
He's on the bag. Yeah.
We were a team.
I like you giving him credit.
But it was like 0-1 or something like that, right?
Yeah,
Wasn't it?
Yeah, you
It
whacked
has to
him
be
that day.
0-0,
Jeez.
Marty. I'm sorry. Has to
No,
be
but
0-0.
Marty
Okay,
gave him a
then
game.
no.
He felt bad for him. He gave him a game.
Exactly what I said.
Yeah.
You got to give a
Then no.
game.
Did you feel bad for him, Marty?
no.
Did you give him that game?
I remember his coach was really obnoxious, and I turned around at 3-0 double break in the first set and said, "I'm not going to give your player a game."
Oh, jeez.
Wow, I love that
And I gave him one
intensity.
game. He got one game, but yeah, he can thank his coach for that. I don't know who it was, but that was his fault.
I love that. So, Marty, you got the silver medal at the Olympics in Athens, and I called that match. It was, a special moment. I know you wanted the gold.
Would you like another drink, Marty?
Losing to Nick.
We have to talk about this.
Okay, but the silver, Marty, for the U.S.,
kidding.
isn't
I'm
it
kidding.
so special, or does the pain of not getting the gold override it?
Oh, it far overrides it. I am in firm belief that the bronze is better than the silver when it's a tournament like that. Not necessarily a race, right? Like your race, you finish second, you get the silver. You either win the gold or you either lose the gold or win the bronze, and I think that like winning the bronze is actually probably feels better than losing the gold. It's something that like I felt like in the moment I was really I'll never forget this because I was so disappointed in the moment, but then because I was up 2-1 and a break in the fourth, so it was a tough loss obviously, and I'm sitting there in the changeover or the set break or whatever. You took a long bathroom break after the third set, and I'm up 2-1, and I'm like, and I had time to like think and go, oh my gosh, like I may actually win the gold here.
Is that what the problem was? Do you think you got nervous because of that?
Well, I mean, sure, yeah. Yes, I mean, I definitely got nervous. I don't know if that was why I lost necessarily, but I was certainly nervous. But I mean, I was nervous going into the match regardless. So, but yeah, I mean, I feel like Fernando Gonzalez won the bronze there, and he beat Taylor Dent like 16-14 in the third, and they didn't have tiebreakers. So it was a crazy long match. I'm sure he was more excited than I was.
Yeah, you don't look happy there.
You don't look happy. Look at Fernando's face.
And to be fair, that's like 7 minutes after the match.
Yeah, right.
Like that, and that's right after playing the Chilean national anthem.
Yeah.
Beautiful song, but I didn't want to hear it, and I wanted to hear our national anthem, and so it was hard. Yeah, it was really hard, and it's still hard. I just have it I keep it in my safe, and it never comes out, and no one ever sees it. And so yeah, I'm a firm believer that I would showcase the bronze and showcase the gold.
I'm sorry I brought it up. I called that match. I called all the matches there for BBC, and even when I think those guys won the gold in doubles as well, it was kind of crazy. Nicholas Massou on hard courts. But Marty, be proud of it. I'm sorry I brought it up. Okay.
Well, Fishy, if it's any consolation, I played 5 Olympics. I got no medals, so that's a heck of an accomplishment. But obviously, you had an incredible career, number of titles, top 10 player in the world, highest number 7, couple of quarterfinals in majors and so forth. What's the one thing that kind of you reflect back on now that really stands out about your career?
It's all the team stuff. It's all the kind of,
Davis Cup,
the memories of the Olympics, the Davis Cup stuff. Like it's always Davis Cup stuff, to be honest, that it goes back to. And like I remember Bogota, and the issues, the challenges that we had playing down there at Columbia. At Columbia, or at, in Bogota, 9,000 feet altitude, playing in a bull ring on a clay court, in a relegation tie as well, to playing like Faya and Santiago.
Geraldo. You're right.
There you go. Santiago Geraldo or Geraldo Santiago?
It's Santiago Geraldo. Yeah.
He was a good player, though. He was a good player. And they had a good doubles team as well. And we didn't have one of the Bryans. We had Isner and I play doubles. They had Cabal Farah. Yeah, you're right. And they were like a young team at the time. It was 2010. And it was PMAX, Patrick McEnroe's last tie as well. So like those are kind of the ones. 2011 Austin was one that I'll never forget, just in the losses that I had. I lost to Feliciano Lopez in 5 sets there, and I was up a break in the 5th. And so like the wins and losses in Davis Cups are the ones that you remember the most and you cherish the most as well.
All right, we're here in the Tsitsipas match now, hanging out with Mardy Fish. It's an early opportunity for Tsitsipas. This head-to-head, by the way, is 5-0. Tsitsipas, unbelievable. Last 4 were on clay.
Tsitsipas, does he have a new coach now?
Well, we know that just Dad's less involved.
It was going to be Ivanisevic after the clay court going into the grass.
Yeah.
Good job, Marty. You did your homework. We love that.
See, look at me.
Look at you, Marty.
It's like, I know I looked that up.
I haven't seen one match this year, but I know that Tsitsipas is being coached by Goran, not during the play.
And he's rocking.
Did Nosey send that information to you?
Why? No, he didn't. Why is he not doing the clay? Like, he's just like, Goran, you stunk on clay.
Yeah, Goran did so well
Yeah.
on grass, and Tsitsipas wants to learn how to play on grass and be more successful, I think. Although he is good.
I think he would just bring him over now. But anyways,
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chiz.
Yeah,
right? What are they waiting for?
Chiz, go ahead.
You write him that text, Marty. What the hell are you waiting for?
That was a nice knifing volley there. Well, I had a question about the golf, because you guys play
for
golf.
it, yeah.
Most tennis fans, I don't know how many are aware how good you are at golf. You're nasty, but I think one of the sweetest compliments, maybe you can tell me is the coolest compliment you ever had is that Jack Nicklaus said, and I quote, that Mardy Fish is the best non-professional golfer I've ever seen play.
Nice.
I'm just trying to think of when. Did he say that to you? Did you read about it? How cool is that?
Yeah. So 2 things on that. Obviously, incredibly cool, incredible comment, and I'll keep that and show that to everyone, right? Like that is I'm not ashamed of that. A and B, I think Mr. Nicklaus needs to watch more golf, more non-professional golf. I'm a fine player, but not. I mean, there are some unbelievable non-professionals that are way better than me. But yeah, I'm gonna take that. I'll take that one to my grave.
So Marty, what's your handicap? I think he means fellow pros in another sport, right? So what's your handicap?
No, I think he meant like non.
Yeah, like in the whole
Yeah,
world.
In the whole world.
Yeah,
Tracy,
the whole
don't knock
world.
it down. Don't,
Come on.
knock it down like
what
that.
are we doing,
What is that?
Tracy?
Tracy, you're just
She's like
killing Mardy Fish.
re-quoting Jack Nicklaus.
Yeah.
She's like, hold on, let
He
me
didn't
call
say
Jack and make sure
She's
that's what he
changing his
meant.
I
words.
didn't mean that. Marty, I love you. You know I love you. I didn't mean it in a bad way.
Well, just kind of. I mean, geez, Tracy.
Okay, what's your handicap,
Unbelievable,
Marty?
no.
Let's go with that.
My handicap. What are we doing? Are we betting or are we just like we're just going
Yeah,
out?
you're
and-
playing Nosey. It's like, yeah, you're keeping it chill, but you're playing
Then
Nosey.
I'm a scratch. If I
Yeah,
play-
okay, yeah.
No one
It's not.
ever really questions a scratch,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
you
but you're
say,
not
I'm
a
a
scratch.
scratch golfer. It's like, oh, okay, you're pretty good.
Yeah.
And then you're like, wait a minute, you should be a +4
Yeah.
or whatever. And so I think on the because we've got a in late May, Mr. Roddick is taking James Isner and myself to Pine Valley. You know,
Nice.
very, very posh place and what a guy, right? And so James is like on the handicaps, and he sent my thing. So I'm a +3.1
Yeah.
apparently.
Jeez.
Nice. What's the rest of the handicaps there? What's James, Andy, and Big Iz?
Andy, great question.
Oh, he's going to look it up on the
Try and
computer. I
get that
love
for
that.
you.
Are you gonna get-
I
are you
mean,
gonna-
sometimes.
You guys
I mean,
talk
I've
about-
played golf with Andy a
He's
few
going to
times, and
Gann.
sometimes if Andy would hit a ball maybe in the tree somewhere, somehow the ball would end up back where he's able to hit a great shot on the next shot. You're like, wait a second, what's
you're
going
calling
on?
Andy
No,
out?
but that's not. He does
What
it.
are
I did the same thing. I did the same thing. I do the same thing, but you know.
What are you saying?
Yeah,
Nick?
what?
No, he's a good golfer. He's a great golfer. You're bet. You're,
It's like
you're
the
probably-
O.J.
Andy's-
Simpson
Andy's a
story.
better golfer than you think.
No, he's good.
Andy's a better
Yeah,
golfer
yeah,
than
yeah.
you think. He's certainly second best in that group.
Okay, who's third and fourth? I know nothing
where's-
about it.
James and Isner have like a big battle. They've been talking. Isner talks a big game, and then when it comes down to like actually playing and betting, like he has a hard time like committing to it. You know, he'll say things like, "I'll play you for 10 grand," and then want to play for $10.
Yeah, 10 grand's
when
a
it comes
lot.
down to it. Yeah, he's super cheap.
Okay, so what are Isner and James? What about approximate? Don't have to look on the computer. Their handicap. Are they?
They're like five,
like mids.
five.
Oh, they're
you know,
still
like
really
4
good.
or 5.
Really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, they're good. They're really good.
Really good.
Yeah, no, they can play. They can play.
Okay.
Isner. I think James is better than Isner, but Isner's looking for shots as well. He's looking for shots from James, and James is not having it because he told him he'd play him straight up for whatever he wanted to play for.
Geez, that's
Okay.
gonna be fun.
So
We're
you
guys
gonna
gonna-
need some video from that?
No, we need
You
that
guys
on
gonna
television.
go?
Yeah, exactly.
You guys gonna pair up teams, or are you guys gonna switch up the games? How's that gonna work? Like,
3 players.
Yeah, well, it's hard to. I definitely don't want to be on Andy's team, and then just because we can't team up together.
Why?
And then
Why is that?
Why?
And then I don't. Why?
Yeah, because you're too good. Is that why?
Because we compete at everything.
Okay.
Tracy. What- I mean,
Okay.
Big class.
Just had to clarify.
no. It'll probably be me and James or me and Isner. I don't want to be on any of their teams, to be quite frank.
Hey, you could do best ball, 2 versus 1.
Okay,
Golf
Andy.
is an individual sport,
So,
I want to play them straight up.
You talked
look
about
at this
handicap.
swing, Tracy.
It's gorgeous.
It's
And the
so
lefty
sweet.
swing,
Oh,
right?
it's
The
so
two-hander.
sweet. I mean,
Well,
it's,
this is the Tahoe thing. This is the American Century 2 years ago
Terrible.
Is it?
when the dude yelled in my backswing. That's not a great.
No.
Don't look at that swing.
How good is Steph Curry? Is he good?
Steph's really good. The thing about Steph is that like he'll come out and he'll play the Lakers the night before and he'll score 40 points and then he'll come out to like Bel Air or Hillcrest or something and he'll shoot 70. And it's like two completely different sports, completely different like athleticisms and skill sets. And it's so impressive that like he'll go out and play with those athletes and do that and be so skilled, and then come out and play a completely different skill set and be so skilled. And so it's like people say like LeBron is the chosen one, and Steph Curry is the chosen one.
Wow.
He's good at everything. It's not fair.
He is great at
And
everything.
Fishy, of course, you get to play with everyone. Steph Curry, Aaron Rodgers, a lot of great, iconic athletes. So based on what you're saying, is Curry the best of that group?
Austin Reeves.
The best of the Austin's in that category as well, where like he'll play, obviously plays for the Lakers, but like he'll go out and score 30 points and then come shoot 68. The best in that, well, we've got Tony Romo's phenomenal, but he doesn't, guys that still play. Yeah, it's Steph. Joe Pavelski is a hockey player. He just retired, so. He's phenomenal. But of the guys that are still competing, yeah, it's Steph, it's Austin. I'm probably forgetting a couple guys, but
That's okay. Hey, Marty, I'm gonna make up for apparently the mistake that I made.
Please do.
Okay.
You're not going to continue to tear him down?
I did not mean it. So you in high school moved in with Andy's family in Florida. First of all, what was that like? And then I'm going to carry it forward a number of years, 2010, 2011, when you became the #1 American. Actually took it from Andy and what that meant to you. So first give us the good, juicy stuff from high school and then becoming #1.
We were brothers. We were like, we weren't friends. We were like, we loved each other, but we competed and fought at everything. And, I was part of their family for, however long it was, maybe 12 months, 9 months, something like that. I lived in John Roddick's bedroom next to Andy's bedroom, and Mr. Roddick would wake us up at 5 o'clock in the morning every morning and say, Marty, time to stretch. I'm like, Jerry, I'm not stretching. I'm not stretching right now. Like, it's too early, dude. It's too early. But he would wake us up. We were very disciplined. They had a beautiful house and a tennis court at their house, a basketball hoop, and so Andy and I would we'd play and compete, and when we're done with tennis, we'd go out and play basketball, and when we were done with that, we'd go out and try to get the cutest girl in high school and compete at that, and like we would just it was fun, and we again we'd play every day, and then we'd come home and his mom would make the best potatoes gratin you've ever had. And I was like part of the family.
Love
so they'll always be family. Andy and I, whether we talk a lot or not, we don't talk a ton anymore. But like whenever we see each other, it's like we've been together every day. So he's family.
And then what about becoming #1? Because I think I read it's pretty special to take it from Andy. Andy had it for such a long time.
Yeah, I think it showed just ultimately that I was just better than him. It just kind of took like 15 years to show that. No, Andy was the alpha of our generation. He handled all the negative and positive press that came with being that. I think honestly, Tracy, the cooler part of that, or like our, kind of careers and trajectories and like how it came up or how it went. The coolest part for me was both of us being in the top 10. It wasn't necessarily like, obviously it was nice to be the #1 ranked American, but it only felt like that like a couple times where you're like, you sort of step back and you're like, there's no one in this country that is better than, that's ranked higher than me in tennis, right? Like there's nothing that really comes of it. There's nothing, so I thought about that once or twice, and that was kind of it. Yeah, this is super cool, but the goal is this, or the goal is to get in the top 10, or the goal is whatever. It was weird being the #1 singles player on a Davis Cup team and Andy being on the team. We did that in Austin, Texas. I didn't step up at that. That was, again, I lost to Lopez and I lost to David Ferrer, and I wasn't able to kind of help the team as the #1 player. In 2004, Andy didn't lose he didn't lose a singles match the entire year in Davis Cup. So like there's certainly levels to being the #1 American. I think we've seen some guys the number one American, as recently as maybe 4, 5, 6 years ago in like the 20s ranking. So it's like it's a cool thing, but it doesn't really do much. To me, the cooler part was the both of us in the top 10 together, because that was kind of like, okay, then we can kind of think back to 16 years old and 15 and 17, whatever, that like all the things that we did, and Jerry waking us up, time to stretch, Marty.
Time to stretch. That's too good.
So you,
it's like,
so you literally didn't
legitimately
stretch
5
even though
a.m.
Jerry told you to stretch? You're like, Jerry, I'm not doing it?
I mean, I usually did, Tracy, because I was, I didn't want to like piss him off. He's like, he was
Tough dude.
An imposing guy, but like, yeah, every once in a while I say, Jerry, it's not the time.
Mardy, you've been very open about mental health, and as tennis players, we lose first round on a Monday, got to get ready to play for the next week. It's tough out there as players, going 30, 35 weeks a year. What would you kind of tell players that are dealing with pressure and anxiety, playing week in and week out, or just in general?
Yeah, to be vulnerable, to be open and honest, to be vulnerable with loved ones, to be vulnerable with people around you that care about you, because it's really hard by yourself. I still struggle at times. It'll be something that anxiety disorder will be a part of my life forever. I have a great grasp on it and handle on it, but it'll always be a part of my life, and it'll always kind of be in the background. And you just try and beat it every day and win every day. And but yeah, I would say reach out to people who understand what you're going through, people who are close to you, who believe in you, who love you, and support you. And those are the people that you want to be vulnerable with and open and honest with, because no one wants to do that by yourself, and you can't do it by yourself.
And to kind of two-piece that question, you had such a great career, as we've already, been mentioning. What are any regrets that you have throughout your career? Something that you look back on and say, you know what, I wish I would have done this, or I wish I would have done that.
I wish I would have held serve in the fourth set of the Olympics final.
Funny.
There's a lot of things, dude. I mean, like, it's it's like, I have no regrets, kind of just, you're just lying to yourself. Yeah. I wish I understood the discipline, dedication, professionalism that it took to get everything out of your God-given abilities at an early age. I wish I understood that. I'm super thankful that I did eventually understand that. But I wish, because we see all kinds of players that will never get it, will never truly understand what it takes, or the discipline that you have to get everything out of what you're given. And those guys will look in the mirror in, 10, 15 years after and go, man, I wish I would have done that, or I wish I couldn't. I'm glad I was able to do that. But yeah, I wish I understood it at an early age. I had success at an early age. Andy was number one in the world in 2003. And I finished that year in the top 20, and we were 20 and 21 years old. So I wish, you're armed with what you know at 40 or whatever, late in your career that you do at an early age, but you're not. And it's part of life, and it's part of your career. And so there's not a whole lot you can do about it. I don't necessarily go back and like dwell on things, but I certainly am like, man, that would have been nice, or that would have been nice to understand that or know that or whatever. So, yeah, tons of regrets. Everybody has regrets.
Absolutely.
They say they don't, they're lying to you.
Yeah, that's right.
Fish, you talked about your loved ones, of course, after your successful tennis career. Lovely wife, Stacy, but two of the most beautiful kids in the world, Stella and Beckett. Beckett, baseball player, golfer, tennis player. You have a unique perspective, right? Having been an elite athlete. How are you as a father with your kids?
I'm pretty good. Well, first of all, the best work I've done as a dad is to get my son to root for the Vikings and the Twins. That's first. Like, Vikings, number one, and he is a diehard Vikings fan, my son. He's 11. and he loves his Vikings.
So does it go like
A1 for
Vikings,
me.
Wolves, Twins? What's the order for
No,
Vikings?
it's Twins or seconds. Vikings for sure, and then it's kind of. And then I love baseball, as you know. So like, Nosey gets a lot of texts about the Yankees during the season. I love the Twins, and then it's kind of Timberwolves down here. I've got some. I love watching Steph compete and win and stuff. So like, I root for him too, and them, and whatever. So I'm not a massive NBA guy, but yeah. Vikings and Twins for sure, but I'm pretty good, dude. He's a
Are you arguing
pitcher,
balls and strikes? Are you
golfer.
arguing balls and strikes, or you just chill in the stands?
Not like you,
Not
dude.
like me.
Not like you. You guys know that Nosey has been kicked out of like every sport,
I have.
every like.
He's like fake
sporting
chill.
event.
Yeah,
No.
he's fake chill. Yeah.
So
Yes.
you're not getting Beckett up at 5 in the morning and say time to stretch.
Time to stretch, Beckett. No, I'm not. I'm not that dad. I look. I have a incredible relationships with my kids. They're the only. They're the greatest thing in the world, right? I have a very close relationship with my father. The only time we ever kind of fought or bickered was in and around tennis. And a credit to him at an early age was to understand that I needed to go somewhere and have a different coach at an early age. And we, kind of bicker and stuff, but then we'd never fight about anything else. And so he was a huge tennis fan when I was growing up. It kind of excelled at golf and tennis and baseball, I guess. And I liked the other sports probably better, but he was such a huge tennis fan, even growing up, even before I was born. He was going to the U.S. Open as a fan. So when I showed some promise in tennis, he'd push me towards tennis. And obviously it worked out. I'd love to have tried the golf route because I feel like I'd still be playing if that were the case, if that worked out same as tennis. So you can kind of still play. You can play forever. I retired at 33 years old, so it's a young time to retire. You get your entire life in front of you. So I try and stay away. He excels at a couple of those, and he's a good little golfer. He's one of the better golfers at his age in California or Southern California or whatever. But I don't want to push him if that, like if he doesn't want to practice, I don't say, well, you should practice, or I'm going to take you to practice anyways. I just don't do that. And maybe I err on the wrong side of that a little bit more, but I want him to like create his own path. And it's not to say my dad didn't let me create my own path, but it was kind of chosen for me at a young age. I had everything that I needed and wanted and to be successful. And I had amazing parents, still have amazing parents, but I won't create a path for him or them. I'm just talking about my son. My daughter, I do have a daughter as well.
Yeah, what is Stella
She's more of a
like? What
little
is Stella
dancer.
like?
She's more of a little dancer and like gymnastics.
She's just the
Stella,
cutest
what's
girl
your
you've ever
favorite
seen.
sport? And she'll say dance, like as a sport. So, and then she'll say volleyball, and she's never played volleyball. So she likes volleyball.
I love you exposing Nosey as being the fake chill dad. By the way, Tsitsipas had chances
No. He gets kicked out of multiple sporting events, guys.
You're allowed to tell us more, Marty.
Facts.
Well, I don't know more other than him telling me that
I call Marty up and let him know. He's like, "What are you up to?" I'm like, "I just got thrown out of a little youth basketball game." He's like, "What happened?"
Wait, who? Your daughter or your son?
Marty,
all of them.
All of them.
Marty, we gotta settle something here. Chiz is always asking, kind of, when you had such a great two-handed backhand. So we're trying to figure out how dominant were you with your left hand or right hand, and what percentage was it? Was it 80% left, 20% right? How dominant are you with the two-handed backhand? Because I think a lot of fans want to know how to hit a two-handed backhand like you.
Yeah, I love that question. So I was not ambidextrous, but very close. And I used a ton of left wrist on my backhand, a ton of that. My right hand and right hand grip on my backhand was almost just a placeholder. And I would use a ton of left wrist on defense. If I was like maybe, thinking on a clay court or a hard court that you're sort of sliding out to your backhand, open stance backhand slide. and just rip that like left wrist. So I was pretty good to turn defense into neutral or defense into offense almost off the backhand side because of that. And then I could also, hit that little dink sort of cross court backhand, kind of passing shot or kind of angle. I was good at that. Fritz thinks he's better at that or whatever, and
Francis got a pretty good left little short angle too.
That's my shot, and they haven't called me and asked me for it, so it's still mine.
That is sweet right there. That's sweet looking.
They may thank you, Trace.
Yeah.
They may think that it's so small on my Zoom, so I can't really see, but I see a headband. I probably missed that. That looks wrong.
So what percentage are you holding it with the left hand? Is it like 90%?
70-30, or what are you?
80-20?
No, I'm probably 70-30 though.
Okay.
That's probably fair. It's way more left than right. I could hit a pretty good lefty forehand, and so it was certainly change right. Let's say you're going backhand cross courts, righty, and then you change direction up the line on a backhand, which is hard, and you got to get your timing down perfectly. Like that would be all left for me, and I would just be holding, almost like that backhand, where I'd just sort of be holding the racket with my right hand and then just guiding it with my left and using my left. So,
I mean, the balance, Marty, here. First of all, the contact point is absolutely gorgeous. The balance, head over shoulders, shoulders over hips. The eyes, it's your backhand was sweet.
Fishy's on the Mount Rushmore two-handed backhand.
Yeah,
there's no doubt. It was one of the sweetest.
Now Bandian probably too.
I mean, a lot of great baseliners and stuff. Guys that have good, most guys now in the top have really good forehands and backhands. My forehand was terrible. I mean, it was. I did a good job later in my career of understanding how to kind of get around it and sort of bluff it. Kind of like Andy's backhand, right? Like he just sort of figured out like a way to, to chip it a lot and like kind of dump it down the line and kind of get out of that kind of pattern of backhand to backhand. Like when I played someone like him, I would want only backhand to backhand. I wouldn't want him to kind of dump. And so I was good at like shanking one up the line a little bit, and like I don't know, I just kind of developed like something where I'd off center or whatever. Guys nowadays are so good at time. It's all about timing, right? And like I had such great timing on my backhand and the exact opposite on my forehand, to be honest. Terrible timing. I'd be like, okay, here I want to go inside out forehand, and I'm going to go and I want to kind of push it, almost inside out into the ad court, and I'd hit it down the middle, because like my timing was so off. But I was so good at the timing with my backhand, and I don't necessarily know why. It's one of those things. Like I could sort of try and teach a forehand, which is weird. I can't teach a backhand. I don't know how it works or like how it,
because it was easy. It came naturally to you.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like kind of the same thing for like the golf swing with me. You've never really taken any lessons, and it's just a swing. And so for backhand, it was just a backhand. And
by the way, Marty, you're pretty tough on yourself. I mean, top 10 in the world, right? #1 American.
I'll take that forehand and get a silver medal.
Medalist. I mean, let's give yourself a little more credit.
It's interesting he says that because the American stereotypes have been like serving forehands, and Marty said it. There's a lot of players now that like have the better backhand, like Menchik. We see Medvedev, his serve +1 is like he moves to his right and hits a backhand.
Yeah.
So what's your typical day now?
Medvedev's hitting backhands from the forehand side.
What's your typical day like now, Marty? Or is there no typical day? You're golfing with Knowlesy once in a while?
Yeah, my typical day is waiting for Knowlesy to text me that he's in town, wants to play golf. No, I love dropping the kids at school.
Yep.
So I do that. And just so you guys know, I have skipped that today for this.
Thank you.
We appreciate that, Marty.
Thank you.
You're the man.
You're welcome.
Apologize to Stacy for
You got some extra sleep probably then as well.
No. I took a couple Advil and shut up.
Okay, and then what? Golf every day?
No, he actually doesn't play that much golf. This is actually something I want to clarify because all my friends idolize Marty, right? Because he's such an incredible golfer. He knows that he played tennis. He's a great tennis player. But they're always like, does he play golf like 5 times a week? I'm like, I'm not lying to you guys. Marty does not play that much golf. He is that naturally good, which is crazy. But we're probably going to wrap up here. But Marty, you not only are a great golfer, but you're friends with a lot of great golfers. Obviously, Sergio, and the names go on. Who do you got winning the Masters?
I mean, I'm looking at it right in front of me right here. I mean, I get excited when the live guys are in with the PGA guys now because we don't get to see them a ton.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, you kind of feel like it's Rory's time, and then he goes and shoots even par and 4 over on the last couple, and it's not his time. I don't know. I mean, it's going to be hard to feel like Scotty Scheffler is going to lose, but Jay Rosie's playing well, and Nosey took him this week, guys. Nosey has Justin Rose this week.
Team Albany.
Yeah, there you go.
We got to let you go soon. You've been hanging out for so long. I love asking the players former players we don't get often. Do you have a tennis pet peeve? Something professional tennis. It could be small, it could be silly, it could be big picture, or something you'd like to see experiment with any changes on tour.
Like what's with the just what's going on now?
Play a match tiebreaker. Play a match tiebreaker for the third. Play no ad scoring. Any of those?
Anything?
No coaching.
I mean, there's a couple of things. I don't like the coaching aspect during play. I thought that tennis is such a unique game. When we leave the locker room, we're all by ourselves. Mano y mano, gladiator-ish, non-contact sport, right? So I do not like the in play or in match coaching. The schedule. I'm so jealous of the golfers because the schedule, like they get to play the West Coast swing and then the East Coast swing, and it's just like the Florida swing, and it's like, I mean, just how we start and where we travel on a kind of a yearly basis is just crazy. Yeah. I can't stand the shot clock whatever the point clock. I can't stand it. Yeah. It came out at the end of my career, and all I did was look at the shot clock. Like that's all I did. Like, do I even have time to get my towel? It's 100 degrees in July in Atlanta. Do I even have time to get my towel? It's just so stupid. I don't like that one at all. I hate what they did to Davis Cup. I hate it. They killed it.
Do you think Davis Cup should be played every 2 years, Marty? Based on the schedule?
That. Man, like a Ryder Cup type format where you get all the top players to play, because maybe qualifying 1 year and then the actual event the next year or something like that, and space it out. I just felt like we'd have 3 ties, we'd go all over the world, we'd lose in the semis, and then it was okay because our next tie was first round in 2 months.
Yeah.
Right.
And so and it would just start over again, and so it just kind of eventually the losses just kind of didn't sting like they should, right? Because you just have another one, in 2-3 months, you're just starting that over again. We need to go back to home and away ties. That was just the greatest thing. The greatest thing in tennis for me was playing an away tie, in Madrid in a bull ring, in Bogota in a bull ring. We played in Sevilla in a corner of a soccer stadium in the final in 2004. Like, it was like just some iconic venues. Plaza del Toros in Madrid, like the most famous bull ring in the world. Yeah. And we played Davis Cup there in the middle, like in the middle of it. It was awesome. So we've lost all that, and
that's so cool.
And it stinks.
Well, sorry we took you away from your favorite thing, your daily routine, but we're pumped to have you on. We learned a lot, and we appreciate you kicking with us today.
Marty, you have a dual screen, right? You got golf on one screen and second serve on the other. We got to have a dual screen here.
You guys are just constantly on. So just
I love it.
T2 or whatever it is.
Look at that, Fishy Bears and tweet right there.
Yeah,
he's enjoying the show, fan of the show.
Except he forgot me.
As Thomas says,
Thank you so much, Marty.
You weren't on yet.
Trace, to be fair, the one time that I did watch the show, you weren't on it.
Okay.
So I didn't know you were on it.
Okay.
Appreciate
I didn't know you were on it.
Thanks, Marty.
Thanks for hanging.
Catch up.
Thanks, Marty.
Thanks, Fishy. Appreciate it, buddy.
Great
Bye,
job.
guys.
To the man.
Have a great day.